Hi, this is me engaging in an unusual behavior for me. I've said before, I'm not really the video blogger type, but I've done one and here comes number two. First one was a song that I wrote. I think I mentioned before I'm a music therapist, and so music is my life, therapy is my life. I'm also a professor, so education is my life, and I think that maybe that's the vein that I'm coming at this video with today. I feel like the creation of this video is a means for me to do something and make an impact in a way that I don't think I can in any other platform, or at least in a way that I haven't been able to in any other platform up to this point. And maybe that's how vloggers get made. So who knows what might come of this, but I just felt led to share, and so I hope that you'll go along with me on this little experiment I'm about to try. I am creating this video because I feel as though sometimes when I engage with people on social media platforms discussing issues of racism and racial insensitivity, that sometimes it can come across as though I am whining, or worse, as though I'm shaming and being blameful, and that's never my intent. So I thought that maybe providing this video could be a means for me to visually represent in a more clear way what it is I'm trying to say. So no memes, no hyperlinks, just me talking to you. So here we are. All of us have feelings, right? These are our feelers. They're out there in the world. We're interacting with each other, and sometimes this happens. Feelings are gonna bump into each other. It's unavoidable. But what gets me sometimes is that in a conversation I might voice an opinion like hearing our president called the N-word is unpleasant. And what I might get as a response is, not all white people behave like that. Or, that's beside the point of this conversation. When in reality, what would be a wonderful interaction to have with the person when I'm voicing my opinion over here is for them to say, I hear you. I understand. And I'm sorry that you feel that way. Even if we don't agree. That's the normal interaction that I would expect. Normal is the wrong word. That's the compassionate reaction that I would expect. Is this. But instead, when I hear not all white people are like that, or that's not what this conversation is about, I feel this. One hand literally smothering the other. I feel as though I'm being told my opinions don't matter and my feelings don't exist. And so my reaction, everything that I say from that point forward, is out of defense of those feelings and out of defense of my right to my position, essentially. And so I might say something to the effect of labeling this behavior as racially insensitive. I might say that saying this is beside the point is unfair to me. Saying that not all white people are racist is a statement of fact, but it's insensitive to the fact that I'm feeling cornered right now, that I'm feeling suppressed. And so that's another natural juncture of a conversation, at which point I hope for that compassionate response of, I didn't mean to come across as insensitive. Let's talk about this. I didn't mean for us to be in a place where you felt suppressed. I want to understand how you feel. Tell me about how you feel. Help me to understand, so then we can move forward. That's what I hope for. But instead, at this juncture, sometimes I get met with even more resistance. I get met with, you don't get to tell me how I feel. Or, you calling my behavior racially insensitive is the same as me calling you the N-word. What is it that you hope to achieve by drawing that metaphor? Because by calling something the N-word that's not the N-word, by calling the action of calling someone an N-word as being the same as something that is not being called the N-word, it's similar to drawing a parallel between something that is the Holocaust and something that is not the Holocaust. You've never been where I have been. I've never been where you have been. And I'm willing to bet neither of us has ever been where the survivors of the Holocaust have been. So it's not our place to tell Holocaust survivors how they're supposed to feel. It's not your place to tell me how I'm supposed to feel. So again, I act out of defense of my feelings. But when I'm told that me doing this is equal to me doing this, it's hard for me to understand. It's hard for me to wrap my head around as the person who feels like this. I cannot understand where this happened, because everything that I do from this position is defensive. So where do we go from there? We're both tired because this requires a lot of energy. But here are our options. This can continue to happen until I'm forced out, till I have to leave the conversation. Or this can become this, can become this. And like I said before, this is how we move forward. This is how conversations about race and racial insensitivity and racism as a whole can become something of the past. It's this. And we get there by stepping out of this, by asking questions, by saying, I didn't realize that what I was saying was being perceived the way you're perceiving it. How do we fix it? Let's talk about that. Let's move forward together as equals who respect each other's opinions. That respect is always core to everything that I share in these kinds of conversations, no matter what. Whether people think that the people I engage with deserve it or not, I believe everybody does. I believe everyone deserves respect. But I do get asked by a lot of friends why I continue to engage in these conversations that I know are going to leave me feeling like this. People ask me why I bother. And the reality is because for every conversation, every 5 or 10 conversations I have that end like this, I'll have one that ends like this. And that conversation is worth it every time. Because change happens. Because new understandings are made and new connections are forged. And together we move forward. Even if we aren't able to move forward agreeing 100%. We don't have to. Our feelings can continue to bump into each other all they want. They're going to. That's fine. So long as we move together in a way that doesn't make this happen. So I encourage you to be this person. To be the person that asks questions. To be the person that tries to interact with those other feelings out there in the world and make this happen. Help conversations move forward. And always know that when you do that, and even if you don't, you have my respect. Because everyone deserves that.